Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the New Jersey Association for College Admission Counseling's virtual college fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Questions specific for one institution or broader ones for all of our panelists are certainly welcome. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions that's happening as part of New Jersey's virtual college fair, and all are being recorded. So we encourage you to return to the same website where you registered for this one, strivescan.com/New Jersey, in about a week's time, and recordings of all sessions will be available. Now, I'm pleased to turn it over to our first presenter, Stockton University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Grace Talion, and I am a freshman admissions counselor over here at Stockton University. And I'm very excited to kind of share a little bit about Stockton with you tonight. So without further ado, this is actually my favorite place here on campus at Stockton that we are looking at. So this is Lake Fred. I actually really like to walk around the lake. We've had some nice warm days in New Jersey more recently, but not so much right now. So I actually got a chance to take some really nice walks around the lake last week, but not so much this week. But this is our location. So we are located right over in New Jersey. We're located in Galloway, New Jersey, right over on the Pinelands National Reserve. And a question I always get asked from students is, what kind of size would you describe Stockton as? And I always like to say that we're a medium school. We're home to about 9,934 undergraduate and graduate students. Like we saw, we do have one lake on campus. We also have another lake. We have Lake Fred and Lake Pam. We are located on 1,600 acres of that Pinelands National Reserve, and that actually makes us the largest college campus in New Jersey acres-wise. So as a New Jersey student myself, I grew up in Bayville, so not super far away from campus. I wasn't aware of that, so I always like to tell folks that. We are conveniently located right by the Jersey Shore, just 15-20 minutes away from the beach. We actually have a location over in Atlantic City. We just built a brand new campus over there that I'll show you guys. And we're just about an hour away from Philadelphia, just about 2 hours away from New York City. And we also have additional locations over in Hamilton, Woodbine, and Manahawkin, New Jersey. This is our Galloway campus. So this is what a lot of folks like to think of as our main campus, although we have both the Galloway and the Atlantic City campuses. So we have our new science buildings right on over here. We also do have our big blue gym, and it's exactly that. It is a big blue gym. We also have our track and field and some housing options over there behind Live and Learn. We have our campus center, and that's where I am right now, actually. I am really coming to you live from Galloway. And then we also do have our academic spine. Additionally, we have some more housing opportunities for you just across the lake. So we have housing 2 and 3 on this side, and then housing 1, 4, and 5 just on the other side of the lake. And this is our Atlantic City campus. So this is what all the hype's been about very recently. So we did just build our Atlantic City campus in 2018. So our residential complex and our academic center right on over there, again, just built in the past few years. We actually just started work on our second residential complex over in Atlantic City just a few months ago. So that should be up and coming in the next 2 to 3 years. So if you do choose to be in Osprey, you can actually be one of the very first students to live in that new residential complex. And you can actually start living in the Atlantic City location as soon as your freshman year. And I'll actually show you the inside of one of those dorm rooms in just a little bit. Now, in terms of academic experience, I always get asked, what are your most popular majors here at Stockton? I will tell you on the admissions end, the most popular major I see day in, day out is undeclared. So it's totally fine not to know exactly what you want to study. I know I certainly didn't, but some of our more popular majors that we do see on the declared side of things are our health science major. We also have criminal justice, business studies that are really booming right now. We have a lot of opportunity over in the STEM field. So we have computer science, like I mentioned, the health sciences, the nursing program. We have a dual degree physician's assistant program. And I just think it's far too much to list on a slideshow. So what I did is I actually just put a little QR code there. So if you guys want to scan that or just head on over to the academic section of our website, that's where you can see all of our different majors, minors, and certificates. And then we also do have some graduate programs, a really hot one that we get all the time. We always get inquiries for our doctorate in physical therapy, so we certainly do have that to offer students. So if you like it here at Stockton, you can stay and continue. And this is actually the inside of one of those Atlantic City dorm rooms. So this is not Photoshop. That is actually the beach, the boardwalk, and the ocean out there. I always like to mention to folks, no matter which campus you're looking to live on, we actually do have guaranteed housing for all 4 years. Parking is free, printing is free, Wi-Fi is free, and laundry is also free. So no need to cart that home. And just a little overview of the application process here at Stockton. We do require a completed application, so whether that's the common application or our online web application. We do have a $50 application fee or waiver. I'm a huge fan of the or waiver, so I did put that up there. That is Stockton U 2021 for this year. We also do require your official high school transcript, and there is an essay component of the application. But most of our majors here are actually test optional. So the only 2 majors that would certainly need SAT or ACT scores from you are the nursing program and the accelerated BSDO program. We also did make our letters of recommendation optional this year. We do understand it may be harder to get in touch with teachers or coaches or counselors, but certainly do submit them if you have them. It's only going to help you. And this is the numbers screen. So I know when I was looking at colleges, this was always the screen that I was looking at. So everything we're looking at there, our tuition and fees, it's just over $14,000, and that is for the entire year here at Stockton as a New Jersey state resident. Cut that in half, we're looking at just over $7,000 per semester. We do have our room and board costs that really ranges anywhere between $8,000 and $12,000, depending on where you're living and what kind of meal plan we're looking at. But that brings the total cost for a New Jersey state resident to just about $27,000, and that's for the entire year. Before financial aid, I always like to note that about 88% of our students do receive financial aid, and just about 60% of our incoming freshmen do qualify for merit-based scholarships. And I just want to kind of leave you with our open house, open invite. So we are doing our virtual open house week next week, March 22nd through the 26th. So there you'll get the opportunity to hang out with me some more if you really want to, or you can also chat with our program heads from all of our different programs that we do have to offer here on campus. Campus safety is going to be there, housing, everyone else, financial aid's running like 6 sessions. So certainly do come check us out and hang out with us in this virtual space. Thank you guys so much.
Great, thank you, Grace. Our next presentation this evening comes to us from SUNY New Paltz.
Hello, everyone. My name is Abigail. I'm a freshman admission advisor at SUNY New Paltz. I'm also an alum, so I'm so happy to talk to you all about SUNY New Paltz today. Let's see if I can get this slideshow up and running for you all. Alrighty, so SUNY New Paltz. So we are a state university at New York School located in New Paltz, New York, and we are so proud of our location for our students. We are located smack dab in the middle of the Hudson Valley, so we are about an hour and a half north of New York City, an hour and a half south of Albany, which is our capital, and we are about 20 to 25 minutes away from some larger cities. This gives our students a lot of opportunities for internship opportunities, as well as academic opportunities, going on field trips during class time. Because not only are we close to those larger cities, but we're also about 15 minutes away from the beautiful Shawangunk Mountains. So we really kind of have the best of all worlds. And we have over 100 majors and 50 minors. So in those academics, we really have a lot for our students to choose from. And we really encourage our students to get a degree in what they're interested in. So we have majors in our School of Business, our School of Education, our School of Fine and Performing Arts, our School of Science and Engineering, and our College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. So we have a lot for our students. They can major in one school. For example, you could major in School of Business and minor in School of Fine and Performing Arts in all of those schools I listed. So we have so many options for our students as well. For admission, we require first either the common application or the SUNY application. We do not have a preference, so whichever one you feel most comfortable filling out is perfectly fine for us. After that, we'll be looking at your high school transcript. When we're looking at the high school transcript, we're looking at the 5 main subject areas. So we're looking to see that a student has completed 4 years of English, 4 years of social studies, 3 to 4 years of a science with a lab. The lab component is required for freshman admission. We're also we're looking to see that you have completed 2 to 4 years of a language other than English and 3 to 4 years of math. The math must include Algebra 2 trigonometry. That is a hard set requirement for admission to SUNY New Paltz. You have to complete Algebra 2 trigonometry. When we're looking at your high school transcript, the average of our accepted students have between a 3.5 and a 4.0. Of course, that's not a set number. We do take, a little bit lower than that 3.5, but please keep that in mind that we will be looking for that 3.5 or higher GPA. And we will look to see if you're taking any upper level classes, so AP, IB, college, or honors level courses. Of course, if you have an 85 or higher in any of those classes, we will bump up your GPA when recalculating because we know those classes are harder. We require students to earn a 3 or higher on the AP exam, a 5 or higher on the IB exam, both standard level and higher level, and a C- or higher in those college courses to come in as credit. After we're looking at that high school transcript, we'll be looking at your letters of recommendation. We require at least 1 letter of recommendation from a teacher or a guidance counselor, but we will accept up to 3 letters. After we're reading that, we'll be reading your college essay. Please make sure it is a personal essay, but also remember that we'll be looking at spelling, grammar, and punctuation, so please make sure that you have those essays proofread. After we'll be looking at that. For students that are applying for fall of 2021, we are completely test optional. However, for students that are applying for fall 2022, unfortunately, we are not sure if we will be test optional right now. We are waiting for approval to be test optional for those students who are applying for fall of 22. So please keep that in mind. Please check out our website in the summertime, and we're hoping to have more information then. And I also just kind of wanted to talk about our virtual events we have going on. We have one-on-one appointments with a freshman admissions counselor, so you can talk to them about SUNY New Paltz, all the opportunities we have to offer, as well as how to apply to SUNY New Paltz. We have a virtual tour that you can take at any time of day. You can take it as many times as you'd like, so we highly recommend checking out that virtual tour as well. For students who are interested to see our campus, especially those students who live in northern New Jersey, we're usually about an hour and a half to an hour away. So you're more than welcome to come to our campus and do a self-guided tour. We have self-guided tour booklets outside of our Hop for Admissions building. We're just so excited to hear from you and to have you check out our virtual events. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at admissions@newpaltz.edu. I will throw that in the chat for you all, so you will be able to see and get that email address from us. So thank you very much for listening to us today, and I hope you check out SUNY New Paltz. I know it is a New York State school, but we have so many wonderful opportunities, especially for New Jersey students.
Great, thank you so much. Our next presentation this evening comes to us from Towson University.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Annie Reno. I am the New Jersey Admissions Counselor for Towson University. So if any of you are thinking about applying, I will be your admissions counselor. So I'll get started with a little bit of general information about who we are and where we are. So Towson University is the fastest growing institution in the state of Maryland. So exciting time for you all to be thinking about joining the Tiger family. As you can see, our total student enrollment is just under 22,000, with most of those being undergraduates. So we're medium to large, larger into medium in terms of our overall student body. We are located just outside of Baltimore, so about 20 minutes away from Baltimore's Inner Harbor. So depending on where in New Jersey you're from, we could be as close as a couple hours away to maybe 3 or 4 hours if you're from northern New Jersey, but either way, still within pretty easy driving distance. We are part of the University of Maryland system, so most of our students, of course, come from the state of Maryland, but on the whole, we really have a very diverse student body. We have students from all 50 states, as well as about 80 different countries represented. So chances are that in your time at college, you will meet people both very similar to you, as well as very different from you, both of which are definitely good things as you're kind of growing and changing through your 4 years of being a college student. So just to give you kind of a sense of what our campus is like in this virtual environment, This here is our academic side of campus. So most of our classroom buildings are clustered pretty close together, about a 3 to 5 minute walk away from each other. If you were to go just off screen here, that would take you to the West Village Commons side, which is mostly residential areas, plus where the admissions office is. I don't think that you would guess, physically walking around our campus, that we have 22,000 students trucking through there on a daily basis from end to end. So from the part you can't see on the screen all the way to the front of our campus, it's maybe a 20 or 25-minute walk at a leisurely pace, not necessarily power walking, but it is nice, again, that most of your classrooms will be close together. So very easy to walk, very much that classic college campus feeling. You've got the open grassy spaces, you've got the red brick buildings, but then the town of Towson is within walking distance as well. So I mentioned that we are close to Baltimore, but it's nice that you're also close to a town that has, a 4-story mall, a 3-story movie theater, tons of restaurants, tons of shopping. So this is all uptown Towson. And then if you were to drive the other direction on York Road, drive a little bit further south, that would take you into Baltimore. So being so close to a major city means that it is, not only easy to find something fun to do on the weekends, but as you're progressing through your academic career and you are looking for those job and internship opportunities, it's very easy to find them because there's just a lot more businesses. And then this is just a sense to let you know kind of what else is going on in uptown Towson. This is the inside of that 4-story mall that I mentioned. So as far as academics, we were originally founded as a teachers college, but have expanded quite a bit since then. Between all of our different majors, minors, concentrations, and tracks, we have over 100 courses of study that are housed within 6 different academic colleges. Undecided is one of our most popular majors, as it is for probably almost every institution. So it is nice that through our strong liberal arts foundation, you do get to take classes within all 6 academic colleges. So if you are undecided, it helps you figure out what you like and also what you don't like. And if you do come in with a specific major in mind, you're still able to take classes outside of that field to give you that broad kind of liberal arts foundation to grow from. As a larger school, I'm very proud to say that our average class size is still only 24 students. So you're very much getting that more personalized academic attention. Plus, we have tons of resources and support systems in place for students, ranging from academic, things like our tutoring and learning center, our writing center, all the way to things for your mental health. We have our health and counseling center as well. All of these are free for students to use. You're not paying extra money for every tutoring session you go to. So it is nice to know that when you're in class, you're still very much benefiting from having that more personalized interaction with your professors. They actually know who you are as a person. But when you're outside of class, you have the chance to, like I said, be part of a bigger school community. We are D1 for athletics, so we have 19 varsity sports teams. We have over 250 different student clubs and organizations. So chances are, if there's something you're currently involved in your school or your community, we probably have a very similar club to that on campus already. So it is nice to know that you are part of that big school camaraderie feeling. So as far as applying to TU, it's a very straightforward application process. We only need the online application. There is a $45 application fee, your official high school transcripts, and the required freshman essay. One important thing for you to note is that TU is test optional through fall 2022, meaning that you can send test scores if you want, but they are not required. Our deadlines are listed here as well. I will also say this is a good slide to take a picture of because it documents all of our information conveniently in one place for our students. And then just to give you a sense of what we're looking for our freshmen, this is our average profile. Again, we are test optional. So these are the averages of students who chose to submit test scores. Again, they are not required for admission purposes. That was a lot of information that I went through in just about 5 minutes because we're, trying to get through the 6x6 format, but please keep in touch with the admissions office. Again, my name is Annie Reno. I am your admissions counselor. So if you do have any follow-up questions, if you want to learn more about TU, if you can't remember anything I said tonight, you're welcome to email me directly. You can also schedule an individual phone or Zoom meeting with me. We also have virtual information sessions every week as well that goes much more in depth with what I spoke about today. And then you're welcome to sign up for our mailing list too. But thank you so much for joining us this evening. Have a great rest of your night.
Thanks so much, Annie. Our next presentation this evening comes to us from UNC Wilmington.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Tanisha Young and I am a freshman admissions coordinator here at the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. I'm also a double alum of the institution, graduating back in 2015 and again in 2019. Thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit more about our institution today, and hopefully I can share as much in this 6 minutes for you. So at UNC Wilmington, we are part of the UNC system, so the University of North Carolina, that includes 16 other institutions within that. We are all individual campuses, so we are not satellite campuses. So each of us have our own admissions requirements, have specialty majors that we offer to students who are pursuing an education within the state of North Carolina at a public college. At UNCW, we are considered a mid-sized institution, so we have just a little under 18,000 total students here at our institution. Undergraduate breakdown of that is about 14,600, so a majority of our students are undergraduates. We are located, if you guessed it, in Wilmington, North Carolina, a beautiful southern beach coastal town. And as you can see on this map here, we are just about 2 hours from our Raleigh state capital. We do have an international airport just 15 minutes from campus. So for those who are in New Jersey, it's definitely an opportunity for you to fly into town if you don't want to make that almost 9-hour drive. Wilmington itself, like I mentioned, is a coastal university, so we have 3 surrounding beaches. Our campus location is centrally located in Wilmington, so we are just 10 minutes from our nearest coastal destination, which is Wrightsville Beach, and then just 10 minutes from the historic downtown riverfront area, which you can see in this photo here. So we have a lot that you can explore at the beach areas in our historic downtown area with different restaurants, shopping that you can enjoy. And here at the institution, we offer about 56 majors, 36 master's degrees, and 4 doctoral degree programs. I always like to showcase a little bit of our visualizations of our campus just to kind of give you an idea since we are doing this virtual format. But we have a beautiful campus. It's about 660 acres. We have about 60 academic and student service buildings here on our campus. We are expanding a lot this year. We just opened up 2 new residential hall areas this past fall. 2 more will be opening this upcoming fall. And then we have 2 new academic buildings, a film studies building, as well as a coastal engineering facility. Here is a breakdown of all of our majors that we offer. We are broken down into separate colleges. So we have our College of Health and Human Services, our College of Watson Education, our College of Arts and Sciences, which is our largest, and then our Cameron School of Business, which is nationally ranked. And then we have a private sector of our Center for Marine Science. We are a coastal university, so we specialize in marine biology. We have marine biology all the way up to the PhD level. And the nice thing about UNCW is you don't declare your major until you are a sophomore. So everyone is coming into the institution undecided and into our university college, which is our academic services. So they really help you with finding your major. You're able to take courses in all those various different components to help solidify your decision with what you would like to pursue and earn a degree in at UNCW. A little bit more about our academic profile. All of our students have the opportunity to be engaged in applied learning, and that can mean various things. So that could be research and discovery. As I mentioned, our Center for Marine Science is really helpful. Our students really get to work out in the waterways. We even have scuba diving as a PE course, so you can definitely get certified here at the institution. We also have a lot of research opportunities in our psychology department, nursing, social work, anything that you're interested in. We have a very extensive study abroad program. We have over 1,000 programs in over 50 different countries. So if you really want to immerse yourself, I think after COVID, we are all wanting to go out into the world and explore as much as possible, as long as we can do that safely. So we have a lot of great opportunities for that. We have internship opportunities, and most of those are guaranteed. Most majors require that you have an internship or practicum in order to graduate. So you really have that hands-on experience to help you with communicating whether you want to go into a graduate school program or entering into the workforce. We have service learning opportunities for our students. So what that means is just different community engagement activities. So we have engagement specialists that put on a lot of different community service projects for our students to participate in. We have an average class size of 27. So even though we have about 18,000 students, we do have a mid-size or a private school feel within the academic classroom. We have a student to faculty ratio 18:1. All of our classes are taught by full-time faculty and professors and professionals within their field. Points of pride, 75% of our graduates will work full-time 6 months after graduating. 14% will go to a full-time graduate school 6 months after graduating. So our students are prepared as much as possible to take that next step after UNCW. In reference to some of our campus life and student activities, we have over 250 student organizations that you can be a part of, ranging from Greek life, honors for sororities and fraternities, academic student organizations, multicultural diversity offices that you can be a part of. We are an NCAA Division I athletics team. So we have 19 Division I athletics. We have basically everything except for college football. So we do not have a football team here at the institution. And then we do have club sports and intramural sports that you can be a part of. Here at UNCW, it is required for our incoming freshmen to live on campus for their first 2 years, and then incoming transfer students who have less than 60 credit hours to live on campus. We have a full virtual tour of our housing opportunities, so if you want to learn more about what those look like, feel free to check out our website. And then we do have some living learning communities, which is just a set amount of classes, typically 2 to 3, that are focused around a theme, but it's capped at 30 students, but they also live in your residence hall. So really help with building those connections for next steps. And lastly, just a little overview about our admissions process. This would be a great opportunity to take a photo of this slide. It just has our averages located on here. This year, we are test optional. At this point in time, we are unsure whether or not the UNC system will approve that for fall 2022. So just keep an eye out on our website. For criteria, what we're going to be reviewing is academic profile, essay, short answer, extracurricular activities, a letter recommendation, which is optional, and then standardized testing as of now is optional, but may be required for the next academic year. To help you stay connected with our office, we definitely want you to take every opportunity to learn more virtually. And we've been doing virtual programming since last March, so we have a lot of great different webinars and interviews with current students. If you want to learn a little bit more, feel free to follow all of our social media accounts as well. And we are thankfully able to be offering campus tours at this current time, and we will continue to offer those throughout the summer. So if you would like to come to campus when it's beautiful and visit the beach, we will more than happy to have you on campus. You can go to our Visit Campus website to go ahead and register for a campus tour up until April. Our summer dates will go live mid-April that will be available. And then we will have some admissions overviews, presentations that will be presented virtually, and then you can schedule a one-on-one appointment with admissions counselors if you would like. And thank you so much for listening to me. I know that was a lot in a very short amount of time, but I will put my information in the chat as well as our general admissions information, but feel free to follow any and all of our social media accounts that we have at the institution, and feel free to explore our website a little bit more. But thank you so much for your time.
Great, thank you so much. Our next presentation this evening comes from Union College.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sahil Kakriya, and I'm one of the Assistant Dean of Admissions here at Union College, as well as one of the 2 representatives for New Jersey. I primarily recruit in Bergen County, New Jersey, but you can also reach out to me no matter where you are from, and I'd be happy to connect you with your representative. So Union College is a small liberal arts and sciences college located in Schenectady, New York, which is just about 20 minutes from Albany, which is New York State capital. We were founded in 1795 as a liberal arts college, and in the early 1800s became one of the first liberal arts colleges to offer engineering in that setting. We are also an entirely undergraduate institution with about a student body size of 2,200 students, and we offer 53 different areas of study. About 50% of our students study STEM-related fields, and the other half of our students typically study humanities, social sciences, as well as performing and visual arts. So one of the unique things about Union is that our class sizes are pretty small. Our student to faculty ratio is 10:1, and your professors will really get to know you. So your professors won't only know you as a student who's in their class, whose paper they're grading, but they're really going to get to know you as a member of the campus community. They will show up to your games if you're an athlete. They will show up to your exhibits if you're an artist, or show up to your performances if you're a theater major, right? And even if you're a first-year student who takes a class with a professor only once, they will remember you throughout your time at Union as well as beyond. Like I mentioned, about 50% of our students come in STEM and the other half come in humanities and social sciences. Many of them study more than one thing, and our faculty really help them out through choosing their majors, right? Like many schools mentioned, a lot of students are undecided at the time of admission, and how we see it is that you're multi-interested, right? And that's where a lot of uni students get to dive into more than one academic field. Because we are a liberal arts school, you're able to take classes in any field outside of your major, whether it's engineering, whether it's philosophy, whether it's the foreign languages, whether it's Latin and Africana studies. There's a lot of different things that you can study, whether or not they connect with their majors as well. About 80% of students at Union have an opportunity to study more than one thing through majors, minors, as well as an interdisciplinary major where you really get to dive into more than one thing and build depth in those areas. Also, our common curriculum makes sure that you're gaining a breadth of skills across the board. So instead of telling you what classes to take, it serves as a guideline for you to choose classes and fields that are a little bit outside of your comfort zone, because we want to make sure that you're prepared for the future that you've envisioned for yourself, but also the job market that is constantly evolving. And you do not have to declare your major until the end of your sophomore year. So it really gives you a lot of time to explore different classes in a lot of different areas before you really have to put it down on paper. The other great thing about Union is that we are a trimester system. So instead of 2 terms where you take about 4 classes each, you have 3 terms, which are 10 weeks, and you take 3 classes at a time, which really allow you to break down that work instead of taking 2 lab intensive classes or 2 writing intensive classes or anything like that at a time, and gives you plenty of time to get involved in activities, leadership on campus, as well as the community around Schenectady. The other great thing about Union is that we provide a lot of immersive experiences to our students. About 80% of our students conduct original research through a lot of different academic fields, and we push the boundaries a little bit with that. So it's not only the sciences or in a lab. You could do research in any field as long as you're conducting some form of academic inquiry in that field, or even a majority of fields put together, because we value interdisciplinary research as well. About 60% of our students study abroad in 25 countries and 40+ programs that are union run, in addition to hundreds of programs that you can still get credit for, but are run through other institutions. You can do that by either studying abroad for a full trimester, your junior or senior year, or do something that we call a mini term. Our trimester system allows for a long 6-week winter break from Thanksgiving through New Year's, and you really get an opportunity to study abroad for 3 weeks and then come back home and still celebrate the holidays with your family. And about 85% of our students will participate in internships. We have over 40+ internships just within walking distance in Schenectady. In addition to that, a lot of our students will intern in Boston, New York City, which are just about 3 hours away, Boston being east of here and New York City being south of here. And then we're also just about 3 hours away from Montreal. So our students get a chance to do international internships as well as anywhere in the country. The other piece of Union is the close-knit campus community. So since we are a small school with about 2,000 students, a lot of our students really feel welcome, and they find that they can build a home away from home really fast. The other beauty of our campus size is that you always see people that you know as you're running to class or you're going out to grab a meal, but we're also big enough that you'll always come across new people throughout your time at Union. We offer over 130 student clubs as well as organizations, including club sports for you to try out. We have 7 Minerva houses, which are essentially a little bit like Harry Potter, but we do not have a sorting hat. And even though you belong to a Minerva house, which dictates where you can serve as a leader, as well as, again, building a home away from home with a common space as well as a living space where a lot of students get together, but you're allowed to attend events at any of our Minerva houses. This is something that is completely unique to Union and was founded here about 15 years ago. And I would highly recommend coming on a tour and checking these Minerva houses in person. About 92% of our students live on campus. So we are a completely residential school where about 8% of the students that live off campus are either commuting from a permanent address or students that are seniors that choose to live off campus their final year. We also offer 26 varsity teams. 24 of those are Division III, and the 2 Division I teams are men and women's ice hockey. I like to describe it as how we have a big school spirit in our small school hearts. And about 32% of our students are involved in Greek life. In addition to that, a lot of our students love getting involved in the community as well. Schenectady is very well integrated with Union College, whether it's going out for lunch or volunteering with an old age home or volunteering with local students, or even doing a lot of environmental volunteer work. The other great thing about Union is we prepare for students for multiple tomorrows. 97% of our students already have a job, are enrolled in a graduate program, or a part of some form of a fellowship within 6 months of graduation. We are a top producer for our Fulbright scholarships, as well as the Thomas Watson Fellowship. Our 3 Watson Fellows were just named yesterday, and they're going on to do amazing things next year. And then on top of that, we're also a top Fortune 500 CEO producer. So the CEO, as well as leadership at places like Texas Instrument, Disney, as well as Stanley Black & Decker, they are all Union alums, and all of these opportunities and people are available to you to come to speak with as mentors. We have a network called UCAN that allows you to speak to 13,000 friends and alums of the university to really get to know the job market inside out. Last but not the least is the admissions as well as the financial aid process. We, like other schools, accept both the common application as well as the collision application. We do not have a preference of one over the other. It is completely up to you. And we are also a test optional school. We've been test optional for over 15 years. This is not something that's been new to us in the light of the pandemic, and it's a really small part of your application. We do not make any assumptions about why you do not submit scores. And if you do choose to submit them, our middle 50% for the SAT is 1290 to 1420, as well as our ACT is 28 to 32. These averages are also available on our website. We offer 2 different deadlines for 4 different kinds of applications. We offer early action and early decision first rounds for November 1st, and then early decision 2 and regular decision for January 15th. In terms of your application, we require your transcript, which is really the main piece. We do a holistic review of that in terms of have you challenged yourself or not, or what classes you've taken, have you improved over the years. So we do not have a minimum GPA requirement. On top of that, we need 2 letters of recommendation, one from a counselor and one from a teacher. And the last is your essay as well as your extracurricular activities. Last but not the least is we also meet 100% of the demonstrated financial need for your family. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. We'll switch to Q&A as soon as our last presentation, which I'm pleased to introduce right now, is University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
All right, thank you all for having me today. My name is Rachel McCauley. I am one of the admissions counselors at UMBC. That stands for University of Maryland, Baltimore County. And I am an alum from UMBC. I graduated in 2018, so not too long ago. And I'm proudly still working there as an admissions counselor. And I am the admissions counselor for all of New Jersey. So any questions that you have, you're welcome to reach out to me directly with the contact information here. I'll also put that in the chat at the end of the presentation, just before the Q&A. So this is our beautiful 500-acre campus that we are missing so much during this pandemic. As we're all working from home, we only have a small handful of students who currently are attending classes on our campus right now. And we are taking every step that we possibly can to get our students back on campus in the fall in a safe and comfortable format. So more information will be coming out about that as time goes on. But I am happy to show you some of our awesome features on campus in this virtual space. So as you can see here, we have a road going around campus. That's Hilltop Circle. You can see our campus is one big circle there. In the middle, you'll see a taller building that is our Alvin O. Kuhn Library. And if you split the circle in half horizontally right through the library, everything on the bottom half of campus is residential, and everything on the top half of campus is academic. So it makes it really convenient if you're living on campus. You can walk to your friend's room super easily, walk to the apartment, and then when you have classes, you walk over to the academic side, take your classes. It takes like 2 minutes to get to your next class, so you have time to get Chick-fil-A or Starbucks or go to our admin cafe or maybe even hit the gym. All of that is on our academic side. So very convenient to get to all of your classes and get back to the residential side later on. It only takes about 12 minutes on average to walk from one side of the circle to another side of the circle. Also, you might have noticed, as our name states, we are University of Maryland, Baltimore County. You might assume that we're in the city, but as you can see in the picture here, we are not in the city. We're actually about 15 minutes outside of the inner harbor of Baltimore in a little town called Catonsville. You'll see that there's a lot of green space outside of our campus. We are actually right next to Patapsco State Park, so a lot of amazing hiking, waterfalls, rivers going on right outside of campus if you're looking to explore nature. But like I said, being 15 minutes away from the inner harbor, you have that exciting city feel right down the street, and we have a UMBC transit that just our students and faculty can just hop on, go right to the inner harbor and explore for the day. We're also about 30 minutes from Annapolis and about 45 minutes from DC. Coming from home in New Jersey, it can be anywhere from 2 hours away to 4 hours away. So I like to say not too close, but not too far away. Now let's talk about our size. We're about 11,000 undergraduate students. It's a really good feel as a medium-sized campus where you can walk around, you can see those familiar faces, but you're never gonna know 11,000 people at once, right? So there's always room to make new connections, yet you don't feel like you're in a swarm of unfamiliar faces. It's that great medium feel. We also have over 65 academic majors and programs. You'll see 61 majors in 55 distinct programs, 70 minors, and 36 certificate programs. So that's a lot to choose from. And like some of the other colleges and universities here, you are able to come in undecided, and you can be undecided up until the end of your sophomore year. I personally was undecided for a while. I originally came in wanting to be an orthodontist, quickly switched my mind, realizing that I'm not a huge science fan, and ended up being undecided, playing around with some majors, and chose psychology, which I absolutely fell in love with. So we do allow the opportunity to play around a little bit to find what you truly love to do. Our programs range from the STEM fields, so biology, chemistry, molecular biology, bioinformatics. We have a lot of different science majors, but also engineering, computer science, math, statistics, and then we also have financial economics, regular economics. It really ranges in that STEM field. And then we have our College of Arts and Humanities and Social Sciences. So that includes our visual and performing arts, psychology, sociology, political science. And guess what? All of them have opportunities to do research at UMBC. Even our dance major, even our theater major, you have the opportunity to do research, whether it's collaborative research or independent research. There are tons of opportunities to have that hands-on experience. As you can see below, our applied learning consists of 82% of students who complete internships, research projects, or study abroad. Study abroad, for obvious reasons, it's currently on hold, but we hope to bring our students around the world as soon as we possibly can. Like it says here at UMBC, we work hard and we play hard. We have tons of scholars at UMBC, lots of students in our honors college. And even if you're not in those programs, our students have rigor, we have grit, hence our mascot's name, True Grit. We really go hard in the classroom, but we also believe that there needs to be a balance between work and play. If you're working so hard, you get stressed out with everything going on. But if you're playing too hard, you're not getting any of your work done. So we like to have that really even balance there. We balance our hard work out with on-campus events. We have events almost every single day on campus that could range from kind of making a terrarium that you bring home to your residential hall, or you can go to breakfast and bingo where you can win things like Nintendo Switches, AirPods, flat screen TVs. We have a carnival that comes on campus every year. We've had tons of musical guests, like recently Meg Thee Stallion, Fetty Wap, 21 Savage. Kesha was here my freshman year, which was amazing. We also have awesome comedians like Trevor Noah, Bo Burnham, Hannibal Buress, who come and explore our campus as well and put on a performance for us. We also have 17 Division I NCAA teams at UMBC. Actually, 3 years ago today, our men's basketball team made history in March Madness with the biggest upset that NCAA has ever seen, being a 16 seed beating a number 1 seed. So that is an incredible day that we'll never forget. So we really love our school spirit. but we also put that grit and hard work in the classroom as well. So let's talk about applying. We are on the Common App and only on the Common App. And that goes for first-year students and transfer students. So if you are a transfer student, we also have you on the Common App as well. But for our freshmen, we'll need the Common App, your official high school transcript. We are test optional for fall 2022. So if you aren't able to take the SAT or ACT, that is okay. There's no penalty to not submit your test scores. The letters of recommendation are optional, but we will accept up to 2. We have a $75 non-refundable application fee. Our application will open on August 1st, 2021. Our early action deadline is November 1st, with our regular decision deadline being February 1st, 2022. So we look forward to seeing your application. I look forward to talking to you soon. Feel free to scan this code if you're interested in connecting with us, but also my contact information is here. And thank you so much for having me.
Great, thank you so much. And thank you to all of our presenters for sharing your institutions with us. At the end of this webinar, you'll be prompted with a brief 4-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback that you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions that was being offered this evening, and recordings of all of them will be available in about a week's time at stridescan.com/New Jersey. Thanks again for joining us, and good night.